Let me record this. All right, first of all, obviously you can see tariffs or something. I don't know. I don't really care too much. Something about tariffs, right? Blah, blah, blah. Who gives a shit? That's just noise. You don't have to worry about that. What do we have to worry about? Is the 10 below the 20? Yes. Did the 10 cross above the 20 today? Yes. What's happening after hours? It's about to go right back down. So what do? We wait. We stay patient, right? We're not here to trade momentum stocks right now. We're here to learn. We're here to listen. Get everything prepared for when you do go on a rally like this. All you need to do is prepare for a move like this, a couple rallies, and you're set for life. As long as you're not starting with like 5 pennies and a bag of chips. If you're starting with a couple grand, you really only need a couple really good rallies like this. It only takes a couple years. That's it. So during these periods, we don't do anything because there's no point to. You're not going to make money. You're fighting the trend. When the market is bearish, there's not much to do. So during these periods, what we're going to do is stuff like this, meetings like this, where we're going to go over all this stuff. I'm going to overview you guys' setups, your trades, whatever it is. I'm going to make sure that you're understanding everything and you're actually able to not only learn but actually apply what you're learning. So during these periods, there's not much to do. Yes, there's some tariffs. Yes, the market is going down. I literally don't care. I haven't even looked into what the tariffs are. I don't even know what country that affects or what product it affects. I don't know any of that at all, and I don't need to. All I need to know is the market trending? Is it a good momentum market? Is the market strong? Are there stocks showing opportunity? Yes or no. That's it. Really, all you need to make money is to be able to analyze the stock in the right way. So today, that's what we're going to go over, and I'm going to analyze the stocks that you guys send. I'm going to analyze these setups, and I'm going to tell you if it's dog shit or if it's good. And I'm going to be honest with you. So first things first, we have a couple good setups to go over. I'm going to show you guys some ones first. We're going to go over the breakout setup first. My favorite example, BBAI. So this setup, it's super obvious. When the stock starts making higher lows, what's it doing? It's trying to tell you something. This does not want to go lower. From this point on, it did not want to go lower. This thing is putting in higher lows like crazy. We can switch this over to this tab so you can see it. No, that's not as good. But this thing is putting in higher lows, forever. From August all the way to December. We obviously made money during this time. The market was strong, but then this thing picked up even more. In the beginning of 2025, it made a 182% move, or 180%, somewhere around there. This big move. The whole time, it just kept making these moves. Right? It would burst, pull back to the moving averages, put in higher lows, breakout, high volume. Burst, pull back to the moving averages, put in higher lows, tighten up a little bit, breakout on not high volume this one, but then the next one, the volume came in, fell right back down to almost the 50, reclaimed that range very quick, and this whole time it was just continuing to put in higher lows. I could draw a range from here to here. I could draw a range from here to here. Basically, this thing did not want to go any lower, and it doesn't matter if the market's strong, if the market's weak. When you see a stock like this, I do not care about market conditions. Pay attention to this. This is all you need to do is find stocks that look like this. This is a stock that's acting very, very well. And as you can see, while this is consolidating, while it's pulling back, not only is it putting in higher lows like crazy, it's also putting in these lower highs. The range is tightening. We did not get a thin day right before breakout, but we did get low volume. And overall, this volume was starting to die out. So you can see on here, I have the 22 EMA on the volume. And you can see this line is, slowly but surely trickling down. And then when it breaks out, we obviously get that high volume. And this one, good breakout. You don't have to wait for anything. If it opened up here, you would have to wait for it to break previous day high. But because it's opening up out of this range, you can see, it's breaking this upper line, breaking previous day high. You just wait for 1 minute opening range highs, and you buy it off that. Very simple, very straightforward. Another one, we'll go to sound. This one, one thing. I don't want you guys to be trading stocks that look like this. I know there's people out there that trade stocks after they pull back and build ranges. Yes, this pulled back to the 50 and it built a range. It put in higher lows and lower highs. But overall, look at this thing. This is after it's coming down. This thing just pulled back 50% and then built a range. We want to see it go up 50% and then build a range. We don't want to see it pull back like that. Now it has declining moving averages. This thing's all out of whack. Yeah, the volume's dying out. It looks good, but what happened? It just broke down, went lower. It's a piece of shit. Back over here, when this thing was gaining momentum, what do we see? It goes up 25%, pulls back, builds a little bit of a range, breaks out here. Big breakout here, or big initial move up, 55%, pulls back to these moving averages, pulls back to the 10, kind of holds a 10 for a couple days, then drops down to the 20. Volume's dying out, breaks out this day, high volume. As soon as it breaks this previous day right here, this is when you want to buy it. Stop goes at low a day. So you're not buying off 1 minute or 5 minute opening range highs. You're buying off this previous day high break for this example. Let's say the first 1 minute candle, let's say it opens, breaks this high. You wait for the 1 minute highs to be taken out, and then you can buy it. Or you wait for the 5 minute. Like, let's say within 5 minutes it was already above this, but the 5 minute high has not been taken out. You still wait for that candle to form. So if you're going to choose the 1 minute or the 5 minute, choose one and stick to it. And then you wait, you wait, you wait. When do you sell this? You sell this when it closes under the 10. So total gain from here to here, that is 192%. We can go back on sound. There's another one where this thing gapped up and built a really good range. This one is a little bit, you're not going to see this too often. This is not very common. But overall, this thing, put in a low here, then another higher low, started to gain momentum, gaps on good news, NVIDIA investment, something like that, and puts in really good higher lows, and, has this wick. But overall, this was building a range, higher lows for sure, while the volume was dying out. Great looking stock. Look at how this volume was dying out. Very clear that this volume was just trickling down. The candles were tightening up. This is a really good looking setup. And then as soon as it breaks that previous day high, same thing, as soon as it's breaking that and or 1 minute opening range highs or 5 minute opening range highs, that's when you buy it. Stop goes at low a day. And you can see, day one, that's insane risk to reward. Thing went up 45% after that. And then continued to go a little bit higher. A couple days in, you can take your trim. So on this day, if you didn't take your trim, then do it this day towards the end of the day, or either one of these days, but most likely this day or this day. And then it closes here fully, and that's when you sell the whole thing. We have another example. We're going to use NNE. This was one off an IPO, so this was very, very quick. The stock pretty much just came out. This was 1.2 months old. You can see, it pulls back. Not much. There's not much volume. This thing's just kind of random. And then makes this big initial move up. Pulls back to this moving average right here, which is the 10. The 20 just comes in here because this is when it was 20 days. A lot of people ask me, why isn't the moving average there yet? Well, it's a 10-day moving average. You need 10 days of data for the moving average to even exist. Same thing with the 20. You need 20 days of data for the moving average to exist. Then it starts here. You can see the 10 and 20 are in order. Both are inclining. Pulls back here. Builds lower highs, higher lows. Range is tightening. What's happening to the volume? Same exact thing, right? Dying out. It's really dying out. Very low volume. And the best ones, not the best ones, but a lot of the times, these setups will have thin candles right before they break out. So we can see the breakout right here. As soon as it breaks that previous day's high, that's when we're buying it. It's also breaking this range. So if I were to draw a line like that, as soon as it's breaking this previous day high, if I put a horizontal line, it's also breaking this trend line right here. So very simple. You buy it there. Stop goes at low a day. Damn, this thing really held up there. Almost like they wanted to go again. 400% move in a couple days. Another one, MSTR. We're going to go look at that. MSTR is going to be this day right here. So this one's very challenging, actually. But it did build a good range, and it had a ton of momentum. It's pretty hard to find something like this and actually time it right. You're going to have to trade for a while to do this, but you can see the volume was definitely dying out, and we had some thin volume right there. Overall, this is a really challenging one, but big initial move up, pulls back to the moving average, and then puts in, these thin days, and it just built this range and just started getting crazy volume here. That's how something like this. A lot of people say, oh, I hear these traders, I hear these, U.S. investing champions that they say you don't need the volume, whatever. Well, how the fuck are you going to know when this is breaking out? Because if it's breaking this previous day high like it was here, why isn't this a breakout day? Why didn't it follow through on this day? You have to wait, and you got to, if you don't know if this is consolidated long enough because the setup looks like this, that's where the volume comes in. You can see as soon as it's breaking this previous day high, I'm sure the volume on the 1 minute, 5 minute looked really good, which it did because I remember buying this. And then what happens? Goes up another 97%, so the stock doubled. Really good one, really good momentum. You can see back here, I did actually buy this one too. A little bit, this is, challenging. But I don't want to buy something that's like this. I don't want to buy it when it pulls back. After it's strong for a while, when it pulls back and builds this range, you usually don't want to buy it. Although Bitcoin looked a lot better and I was basing it off of Bitcoin, I think we can do, because it's kind of like the whole thing of this. Yeah, this is where Bitcoin was right here. What day is this? This is 2/7. Why did that just send me back so far? Oh, yeah, so BTC USD, we can see that the setup right here, like Bitcoin looked pretty good. Yeah, it pulled back, but it made a good initial move up and then pulled back, built this really good range. This was breaking out on 2/7, and then, it had that good move and then pulled back again and then broke out again. Very strong. If we go to MSTR, we could see the same thing, except this had a much harder pullback than Bitcoin did. And then, the move up wasn't anything too crazy. The Bitcoin setup itself looked better, and then this was 2/7. This is the day that Bitcoin broke out. I bought it in anticipation just because Bitcoin was breaking out, and then this thing did really good. But that's a much more challenging play. You're not going to do that until you have enough money in your account to where you don't even give a shit if you win or lose. But then something like this, like when this stock is on the move up, this is when you want to look for it. When these stocks are trending up. I don't like when they're like this. I just don't like this. When it pulls back, moving averages are declining. It's just ugly, and it's very challenging. It's very rare that I'll buy those, and you have to be pretty smart, and you have to understand what you're doing. So I just recommend that you guys don't touch those at all. These ones, though, it's different. Like, this is so obvious. All the moving averages are in order. The thing's gaining momentum. Technically a breakout here. That looks like it would have been a challenging day. And then pull back here. Thin candle right here. This is a great breakout day right here. Obviously, it didn't go too far, but still a good breakout. Another one right here. Higher lows. Not really lower highs, but it built a range, then breaks out here. That's a good-looking breakout. The stock's trending up. Bitcoin was doing good. Perfect, right? And then, you get that other one here when this thing really starts picking up, and that's when the huge move happens. So you keep trading these things, and, you might have results like this where the thing barely goes up. Sure, it's a winning trade, but it's just an average little piece of shit. Like, you're not making much. Then you have something like this where it just goes straight up. These are the ones that grow your account, and you're not going to catch these unless you're taking all the setups, when they're doing good. And you can see here, it made this initial move up, pulled back, and then that's when the big move happened. That's why I tell you guys a lot of the times, like especially right now, I'm waiting patiently. I don't care if these stocks go up out of these ranges. I want to see if they hold up and then build ranges after that. Because if we look at the overall market conditions, this is building a range here. Am I supposed to be buying things like Sound because it started to build a range? Should I have bought this here? Like, no, I want to wait for it to go up a little bit and then prove itself. Let these moving averages start to set up in order. Let things, kind of get settled. And the stock has to prove itself first. I'm not going to be the first one to buy it, but I will be, one of the last. I don't really care. As long as I'm getting in and I can confirm that, like MSTR, I didn't have to get in on this day, yet I did. Getting in on this day, yeah, you have to get in on that. That's meeting all criteria. This is like everything's lining up. This is one you can even risk more on as long as you know what you're doing. Don't recommend it, but, there's times when you can. Okay, so now you guys understand the setup a little bit. Today we're just going to go over the breakout. EPs and parabolic shorts we'll save for a different day. You guys probably won't find too many setups with those. Those are going to be a little bit more challenging. And EPs are harder to analyze in hindsight because you're only going to choose the ones that are actually working. EP easy? Yeah, I guess. Does it always have to break the ranges high, or is it based on volume? You want to see it breaking previous day high. If it's not breaking the previous day high, it's probably not breaking out of the range. Like, if it's still staying below the previous day's high, is it really breaking out? Probably not. Your whole list was EPs? That's fine. You can send them. I'll look at them. But I want to focus on breakouts right now. Can we talk about EPs? Let's do breakouts first. Okay, so if you guys sent them in setups channel, bro, this hut 616 2. Okay, whatever. I'll look at that since Max is crying. 616 23. I don't even know what month the 6th month is. It's got to be this. Was this a breakout? This looks like it was probably catalyst driven. Yeah, this is a breakout. He's coming out of a huge range. It looks good, but it consolidated for quite some time. MSTR, Riot, CLSK. I believe there was a lot stronger stocks in this group than Hut at the time. Yeah, the setup looks good. Like, overall, It's a pretty big range, but it does look good. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I would like to see a shorter consolidation period. I mean, this is kind of crazy, but it works. It all depends on kind of what Bitcoin was doing at the time, which I think it was going sideways for a while based on how all these things looked. I mean, it looks good. Wait, what's the difference? What's the difference of what? Breakout and EPs? Yeah, there's EPs, there's parabolic shorts, and there's breakouts. RGTI right now? Probably going to say no to that. Why won't this work? No, there's no setup on this. This is just pulling back. This is a quantum computing stock. You want to see a quantum computing stock that's setting up? It's going to be QUBT. After today, this after hours is kind of messing it up. But if we just look at this, like ignore today, this is setting up. Why is it setting up? Because it's making a move up. This thing doubled in a week, pulled back to these moving averages. It's holding the 50 pretty well as the 10. Bounced off the 10 and 20 here. And it's starting to look good. I mean, the volume was drying up a lot here. I wish it would have went on this day. That would have been kind of ideal. But it didn't consolidate very long. I mean, it's possible, though. Like the example I showed in MSTR, very similar, like where it just doesn't consolidate very long. If the market was better, I probably would have taken this. And I would have preferred that this opened, or this didn't, like, wick down throughout the day. But, yeah, RGTI, there's no setup. I mean, this thing's just pulling back. Like, there's no orderly pullback. There's no range being built on this. NKTX 1824. Is that this day right here? Yep, that is. That's a good day. This breakout was very short-lived. It was just a single-day move. Yeah, I mean, this was gaining tons of momentum. There's a momentum burst right here. It's kind of a variation to the breakout. But, yeah, I mean, it pulled back after being very strong. Didn't pull back for too long. The volume was drying up, yeah, and then huge volume on that day. Looks good to me. That's good. It only consolidated for a couple days, but pretty good. Went up like 80%. And then we have RKOB October 16, 2024, or breakout on November 15th. October 16, 2024. Yep, I think we bought it that day, didn't we? There's a couple breakouts on this one. Let's look at that. We bought it this day. I remember that. So you guys can see, this is another one where the stock is trending up. It's not doing that pullback bullshit. Like here, I don't like this. I wouldn't have bought it here. I don't think we did buy it here. We waited for it to prove itself. And this pullback was not very orderly. This just like made a move up and then just channeled down, put in lower lows. It didn't look good. Didn't hold the moving averages. Then thin day, and then it broke out, made a small burst, then immediately pulled back, built this range. Thin day right here. It's holding the 10 very well. The volume's a little ugly. I don't like this being a high volume day and a failed breakout attempt. But then it pulled back right away. I mean, wanted to go higher. Held the moving average. Broke out here. As soon as it takes out that previous day high, good to go. Volume was good. Makes a decent move. Pulls back again. And then this was October 11th. This was a breakout right here because it's breaking that previous day high. Volume was low. I mean, this is definitely a little bit early. It's hard to define the range on this one, but it would have worked. Yes, this is a breakout day as well. I mean, the volume was really good, but this candle before it was pretty ugly. I don't like that too much, and the volume increasing on these 2 days, that's a little bit weird to me. This one right here, this is a good breakout. I mean, it pulls back, drops down to the 20, quickly reclaims, thin candle right here. Volume slowly trickling down, not much, and then breaks out here. Volume wasn't anything crazy. But then it actually did really good from there. So, you got to take it. And you can see that's 108%. And I think it kind of faded from there. We tried it a couple times around here. I bought it this day. I think I bought it this day even as well. This day, and this day, I think. It was just like crazy volume. Which those are all valid entries. This one's not as valid. I don't remember that we bought it this day. I do know we bought it this day and this day, and it just didn't do much for us. Look at the setups channel. Are you only looking for non-base breakouts? I don't really know what you mean. GDHG. I'll look at the setups channel in a second. GDHD 10, 11, 23. This? No. This? No. This? No. It would have been either this day or this day. This is too late. But this thing is so fucking thin, and the volume looks weird. It doesn't look like there's any money invested into this stock. It just looks kind of like a piece of... Yeah, what? 20K? This is very thin. There's no volume in this stock. 82% ADR? Dude, how fast is this thing? Oh, because it went down 91%. That makes sense. No wonder this ADR is so high. It's a piece of turd now. Yeah, this is a very illiquid stock. I don't like this. No money in this thing. It's 560K market cap. It's disgusting. It's really, really small. It's an illiquid stock. But yeah, it traded well on the way up back here. I don't know what the market cap was at this time. Now it's 48 cents, so it's probably a lot higher up here. DBSDY. What day? No. Hell no. Look at this thing. It has no volume. There's never a setup on this. This thing has zero volume. Look at the 1 minute chart. Looks like a barcode you'd scan at checkout. I don't like this. No money in this stock as well. Also, it's a low ADR. You want it to be above 5%. Average daily range 3.37. Plus, there's no money in this stock. You're going to be one of the only people buying this thing. INDO 322. Is that the one that I bought? Pretty sure that was like my first big winner. Yeah, it is. 322. Oh, wait, what? That was on 2/22/22. That's insanely lucky. The stock is breaking out on 2/22/22, and then it makes this giant move of like 1,500%. Yeah, this is a good setup. It's a very thin stock, but it's a context-based play. This is right before oil and gas kind of had that, like, I don't even know what happened. There's some sort of news around it, but these things started gaining momentum. It gained momentum here, pulled back, kind of lost it all really quick, and then regained it and just coiled up really nicely. It held the moving averages. It's a very thin stock, but when it broke here, this was one of the best trades. It's very hard because you have to understand the context behind this. This was right before gas prices went from like $2 average to like $7 average. Like, it was insane. And this thing went crazy. You can see from entry around like 520 to peak, this is like 1,500%. Very crazy. Where did bro find that disastrous stock? What stock? GDHG? I don't know. What has been your best trade yet? INDL for sure. 1,500% on shares in 2 weeks. DJT. DJT, has this had any breakout setups? This has had EPs, which I don't really want to go over those today, to be honest. It had a breakout right here. We bought it this day, didn't we? You guys remember this? Started gaining momentum. Nothing crazy, but it pulled back and built a pretty good range. Moving averages were super wonky. But volume looked good. It was dying out and then broke out. As soon as it broke this previous day high, that's when we entered. It had really good volume. Still a good-looking stock. It just didn't do much following that. Just went sideways right away and then gapped down. Stopped me at break even. Took some profits at the end of this day. Other than that, I don't think there was many breakouts on this stock. Yeah, no. Not really. I'm kind of seeing one here, but... One right here. Very short-lived. Didn't last at all. How much percent was INDO? 1,500% from like entry to the top. Total exit was like 460.
Like from initial buy to total sell, 460%. But I mean, there's trims on the way of that. NVIDIA 613.23. Yeah, I can check on that. NVIDIA 613.23. Perfect. That's 712. 613. It must have been this day. No. Okay. Yeah. This is a good breakout. I mean, this stock is pretty slow at the time. It was like a 3% ADR, like a 3.5. This was the start of like the giant tech rally. And this stock was leading for a while. It gave this entry opportunity here, but it wasn't really much. It only went up like 14% and then pulled back. It kept pulling back and like wanting to give these breakout setups, but it just didn't tighten up much. Like this isn't a good range. I mean, it's putting in higher lows. It's holding the moving average as well. It kind of starts to build a range here, but it's just not viable yet. It was also a really low ADR at the time, so I wasn't focused on it. And then here, I didn't buy this initial breakout. But it did break out here. I mean, it made this like gap on earnings, and then pulled back, built this range. It would be something like this if I were to draw a range. And then it broke out here. I mean, the volume's pulling back as well as the stock is pulling back to the 10. We get these thin candles, then it breaks out, and this is a very short-lived breakout. And then what happened? This is when one of the best setups of all time. I got 86 times my risk on this next one, trading options, which let me go ahead and delete those trend lines. So yeah, then it makes this burst, pulls back to the 10 here, drops down to the 20. You're like, okay, whatever. Holy shit, is this thing gonna hold the 20 anymore? Look at that, 4 days, perfectly holding the 20. Rebounds while putting in higher lows. Amazing. Goes up to the 10, pulls back to the 20 again, back to the 20 again, back to the 20 again, breaks out. Look at how many times this thing tested the 20, held it very well, volume was dying out, stock is pulling back, making a good looking range. Candles are getting thin, tightening up. We have this setup here where we have, higher lows, lower highs, stock's tightening up, breaks out here. So this is one where obviously you're not waiting for previous day high to be broken. You're just waiting for 1 minute opening range highs or 5 minute opening range highs, whichever one you choose. Then it went up like 13%. A little bit into open, like 30, 45 minutes into open. I was actually up 10,000% on this, but I did not get a picture, and I did not take any profits at that area. We took the profits around like 8,500%, which is insane. Absolutely insane. Very small breakout, very slow stock at the time, but we were trading options on that. Sometimes it's good. And then what else? 712, we know that one. 124, it's got to be this one. No, it's 18. This is a good one. This was a weekly setup. That was this day right here. That was a good weekly setup. I think that's when SMCI broke out as well. What was the other one? That was this day, huh? 19. No, you must have meant 18. Yeah, it was 18 was the breakout. And then also this day right here or this day right here. I think we bought it this day. But it pulled back for a couple days and then broke out. And it made a pretty good move. I think we made a couple %1,000 off this. And then another pullback right here, breakout. I think we bought this one too, coming into the PB short. And then we bought the puts this day. Very, very complex setups. Like, you don't see these. This is not something you look at and it's like really obvious. This is something you're like, people would like question me and be like, what are you seeing? Like, how do you even see that? It's like I put on like special glasses where I can only see it. It just comes with time and experience, honestly. That's one, I can't really even tell you anything about that. You'd have to download the last like 50 terabytes of whatever's in my brain. We traded options though? Yeah, we did. I remember this one time someone put in NVIDIA charts and he just knew it was NVIDIA just off the candles. That's kind of funny. Did I actually do that? RCAT? You're talking RCAT November 2024? No setup, actually. And I remember watching this go. I mean, there wasn't really a place to enter. Maybe off the weekly. Even then, like, really? Are you going to buy it this day? Whenever it's breaking this weekly high? Probably not. We didn't buy it. This wasn't an entry on it. I mean, it happens. You know, you're gonna have stocks that go up. You're gonna have stocks that go down. All you need to know is that you need to be in the ones that give you opportunity. There was an opportunity right here this day, and after that, there wasn't much. So there's not much I can really say. There just wasn't too much to do. And then here, nothing here either. Although it's gaining momentum and gaining volume, we wait for this to prove itself, wait for it to go up. Moving averages are starting to incline. It's holding the inclining 200, which is good. But you don't buy it off like this range break or something. Like this thing's a piece of shit. It's just going down. SMCI broke out around the same time and it went crazy. You're talking about when NVIDIA did? I have a feeling that this next rally is going to be aggressive and a shit ton of opportunities. I'm going to be aggressive on the next rally for sure. I have a lot of money to play with. SMCI weekly chart 112. Let's go over SMCI on the daily chart actually, because this is. Wait, there's a breakout right here. Sniped that shit. 516.23. You're talking about 112. 112. 112. Oh, because you're clicking on the weekly candle, so it's telling you 112. That's why. Yeah, no, actual breakout day was what? 119? Yeah, 119.24. So that was the actual breakout day. I mean, overall, this made a huge base. And then it gapped on that earnings guidance thing. That was what really sent it up. But this is still a breakout, as much as it is an EP. Like, this is a news-related gap. I don't want to get into that too much, but yes, this is technically a breakout. I don't like the higher highs. I don't like the multiple breakout attempts, but I like the news that came out this day and the amount of volume and the way that it traded. And the fact that it was sideways for 7.5 months before that. And then we have this breakout right here. Look at how strong this stock is. Moving averages all in order. Big move. Pulls back. Tightens up. Volume's dying out. Breaks out here. As soon as it's breaking that previous day high, boom, buy. Stop loss low day. Holy shit. Look at how rich you are. Oh my god, guys. Only a couple trades. Look at that. 64%. Roll over those profits. Get into the next one. Another 100%. Another 300%. Boom. Rich. What's the highest percent you made on options? 8,500% NVIDIA. That one trade we looked at earlier. 10% risk would probably max out your margin and some. Yeah, most definitely. Okay, let me go into the setups channel. I kind of want you guys to resend these into the chat. Holy shit, there's a lot. Okay, I'm going to go with the ones that Armand sent really quick. BidF. Let's start with BidF. I do like these because I can see very quickly how I can critique these. This is 2023. At least it looks like to me. I can't really tell. Oh, no, it says in the bottom right corner. This looks like it's around the same time that Hut or Riot, whatever one we were looking at, broke out of that big base. So it's the same thing. I'm going to have the same answer for you on that one. It's just going to be whichever one was the strongest in this group, which I don't remember if that was MSTR, Riot, Hut, CLSK. There's all sorts of crypto stocks, so you have to pay attention to which one not only made the biggest move during this period, but then held up the best and just started to look the best and then has the highest ADR. Market cap can matter sometimes too, but when you're speaking like risk to reward wise, you want the one that's going to follow through the most, which is going to be the one that made the biggest move and or the one that held up the best during the sideways period. Hut honestly looks like it held up even better, made a bigger move. Whoa. Why is this throwing me off? I don't know. That's like unrecognizable if that's even at the same time frame. Yeah, I don't know. These things look wonky. CLSK did really good. Not sure what's up with that. And then we have Carvana. Carvana had some really good setups actually. There's a setup even before the one that you're focusing on. NKLA 713. Yeah, I do remember that. I'll go to that in a second. So this is a very, very interesting one. but it acted very well. The stock is very beat down. Overall, it's a piece of shit, but what do we notice? It gains momentum, kind of puts in a bottom here, makes a higher low, gains momentum, pulls back, breaks out, pulls back, higher lows, lower highs, volume's dying out, breaks out right here. You're buying it as soon as it's breaking this range / previous day high, right? So you're waiting for that previous day high. Then it does really good. We actually sold it almost top tick on options. This was 2,600% up to here. Rebought it on an hourly setup and 3,700% up to here. So we did really good on this. There was 2 trades that we were able to take in that one position. But just buying shares, you would buy it here, stop at low of day. You would sell a portion of your position, somewhere on the way up. I like to do it when I'm at 5 times my risk and then sell the whole thing when it closed under the 10. But the reason for this was I went back to here, and I kind of timed the top based on this right there. I saw that it was like getting a lot of resistance there. It did pretty far back too. I don't remember where. But then you can see it like top ticked that area. Kind of random. Maybe it just worked because it worked. It was just could have been completely random, but yeah, ended up working. And then it started to continue to gain momentum. I mean, kept putting in higher lows. Gapped up here, built this range. Now this one's a pain in the ass. I remember buying this. Great setup. Big move up, 100%. Pulls back, builds this range. Higher lows, lower highs. It didn't tighten up too much. Like there wasn't a thin candle, but that doesn't matter. Then it gapped up here. As soon as it's breaking out, you want to buy it. The only thing is it ran into the declining 200, and then you can see the next day it stopped me out. And then guess what happened? Oh, I love that so much. That makes me so fucking pissed off, dude. I hate when they do that, and those things happen to me all the time for some reason. And then I rebought it this day, and I got stopped out on that day. I did end up buying it this day. Almost got stopped out, and then it went a little bit higher, so that was okay. A little bit of it set up here, not much. I was kind of antsy. It was like, damn, I need to get back in this. And then we rebought it, I believe, this day or this day. What you're showing on here is the setup here. And then, yes, we did buy it this day as well, 7.7. Then there's another setup somewhere here. That was right before earnings, so realistically, you don't want to buy that. And then I think that's kind of where it fell off. Is it? Yeah. A little bit of a setup here as well. Then you have MVST. I don't really like that one too much. Let me show you. MVST, this thing's trading very weird. Gaps up, pulls back to the 10, holds the 10. Pulls back here. I do believe we bought this one. Oddly enough, even though I don't like it. I just don't like the structure of this. It didn't build a really good looking range. And it started making lower lows here. And then it went higher. I would say it's a pretty bad setup, honestly. Even though I do think I bought it and made money. I just don't like that. This isn't an orderly pullback. It's not these higher lows. Like, if that was here to here, that would have been fine if it broke from here. But because these 2 days, it just started showing weakness. I don't like that. Why is it open? I swear there's a new button every time I open this app. And then I wanted to go over woof. I didn't like woof. Where you said to buy woof. I'm pretty sure this was, we had earnings, and then I honestly think we bought this too, sadly enough. Yeah, it made a big move, 40%, pulled back. The setup was absolute horseshit. I mean, it just made lower lows here. This is not an orderly pullback. There's no range here. Looking at this is just a choppy stock, or not choppy stock, but it's just a stock. Like, there's nothing here. It's not building a good-looking range. I mean, the thing was ranging better back here than it was here. There's just nothing. And then it just breaks on like crazy huge volume, which I think is why we took it. If we did take it, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure we bought that. But yeah, I don't like that one. It's just not very good. That's more of a catalyst-driven, news-related buy. IHS. Gel is too slow. IHS. Let's go ahead and look at that. IHS is a recent one. Pretty thin stock. There's a lack of volume on this. I mean, again, this is another barcoding stock where there's not much money in this. I would say you should probably avoid this. This just doesn't look liquid enough. I don't see why you'd want to buy it. Made a good move. ADR is good. Like, everything's good about this. The pullback is not too ideal. This isn't very orderly. This is kind of just a stock that's going sideways down to the moving average. And it's just, there's not too much structure to this. But that's because it's a pretty thin stock. What I use the focus list for the stocks that I think I really want to pay attention to, MSTR has been holding up really well. I mean, if Bitcoin starts picking up, that's something I want to look at. NIU, this thing's market leader recently. The market's down, 15% or something, and this is up 192%. It's something to look at, but it's very thin as well. It's just kind of what I'm watching. QBT, I like the way this is holding up, asides for today. But the quantum names started picking up. This is starting to build a range. I made this big initial move, pulled back. It's starting to look pretty good. Celsius, another strong stock. It's running into the 200. Maybe I'll see if we can build a range here. I built a range here. Broke out this day. I told you guys you could have bought it. I think some of you guys did, right? RCAT was a setup. What, recently? No. ACLS app, LFDKNG. You sent a picture. Oh, yeah, I totally went over your RCAT one. That was here. Yeah, that's a setup, but it's not too favorable either. Not much of an orderly pullback. It's a little bit all over the place. But yes, it is. This is another one that's harder to identify. You kind of have to understand why this group is doing good. The computer systems. Like, this was before all the quantum computing. Like, if we look at RGTI, I mean, these things were kind of picking up. October or November is really when they started. Versus RCAT was already picking up way back here. This is one of the first ones. So it's that's really challenging to be on. You would think it's just like a random stock. Oh yeah, NKLA. What the fuck? Why can't I look at it? What'd they change it to? Or did it get deleted? Oh wait, no. Is it NKLAQ now? Oh yeah, it is. Is that this day? Yep, 7:13. Wow, this 1 hour looks atrocious. Yeah, great setup. Piece of shit stock, but what happened? Gained momentum, pulled back, built a great range, higher lows. Perfect. This is a great range right here. It really tightened up towards the end here. Yeah, it dropped down a little bit, but it reclaimed really quick, and then, right from there, it just went. And it broke out on really huge volume. Whole time the volume was dying out. Like, this is great. I think didn't we sell this all at the end of this day? So I was like, dude, this thing is up a lot. And then it didn't do anything. I'm pretty sure we sold like 90% or something. I was quick to cut that. I think it's NKLOQ, yeah. The volume was good when we bought, but now it's ass. Yeah, the volume, this was a really liquid stock at the time. Now it's trash. There's like no volume. The volume actually picked up a lot here, but the stock is so much cheaper. It's like almost equivalent to the volume back here. Oh, this is probably even more actually. I didn't realize how much this was. I'm pretty sure this stock was like $4. It must have had like 1 billion splits. Or reverse splits or something. I don't know. What about iron when we didn't re-enter something? No, iron we did buy. We bought it this day. Don't you guys remember that? The volume on this stock looks hideous. I didn't even want to buy it. Look at the volume increasing on this day. Like, the volume's going up while this is going sideways. I didn't like that. But we ended up buying it, and it worked. Sharp pullback, but DXYZ, that's another good looking setup that I wanted to show you guys if you haven't seen it. This day right here. Crazy move up in a very short period of time. I don't like that too much. I'm a fan of them like growing, like Sound or BBAI, something like that, where they start slowly but surely picking up. This thing just fucking went straight up, and then pulled back, built this range. We get these higher lows. Overall, this is a good setup. The volume is dying out, and then when it breaks out, the volume comes right back in. This is a really good looking setup. But the only thing is this throws me off a little bit. Like, really, a 350% move in 6 days? It's kind of a lot. But it held it up, and it broke out here. Very thin candles, holding the 10 very well. Breaks out, and it went higher, surprisingly. I was very surprised when this thing went as high as it did. I mean, it almost doubled after, like, quadrupling. Like, what the fuck? Damn, I wish I bought some puts on anything. You might as well work at McDonald's if you're going to have that mindset. Apply now. Okay, how about this? Tomorrow we go over the other setups. We can go over EPs and parabolic shorts. I think that's about it for today. I mean, I'll have this recording for you guys.